Hello, you're welcome to Africa Emerging Leaders Conference 2024. Are we ready? I hope you're ready for tonight because we are also ready for you for tonight. Today is a very remarkable day in Africa and all over the world as we're welcoming 47 countries in a row in Africa Emerging Leaders Conference. So it's good to have you all. Tech Media Official, you're welcome. You're welcome. We are thrilled to have you. We are thrilled to have you. Thank you so much for coming, and we so much appreciate your presence. On behalf of the leadership and president of African Emerging Leaders Network, I want to welcome each and every one of you to this beautiful opportunity to serve today. We are all gathered here as African leaders and ambassadors. And I am so grateful to be anchoring the first stage. I hope you're excited. Please, if you're excited, I want to see you comment. I want to see you show you that you're excited because I am beautifully excited today. Thank you so much, Sarah Freeman. You're welcome. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining us. We do not have much time. So at this point in time, we'll be going forward to the business of today. As we all know, it's just one goal, and the goal is to make sure we set the youth of Africans ablaze and to also bring you into the knowledge of understanding your prestige and the home where we're coming from. Our fatherland is so proud of us, and I am also proud of Africa, and I am also proud to be called an African woman. It's a beautiful thing to be an African, and it's another beautiful thing to be an impact maker in Africa. So thank you very much for joining us. I know you'll be joining us from Ghana, Liberia, Cameroon, Congo, Pakistan, London, Germany, and all over the world because, of course, we have 7 countries present with us here today. Oh, there, Cameroon. Thank you so much, Mr. Emmanuel Abba. It's good to have all of you here. Thank you for joining us. So without further ado, I hope you're excited. I hope you're beautifully excited. There is Daniel Gowo. Thank you, Ambassador, for being here today. It's a pleasure to have all of you, and I am so excited. Now, let me introduce myself. My name is Miss George Loveling, and I am the moderator for today. And I hope you're excited to see my beautiful face because you're going to be seeing this face on your screen often today. Thank you so much for having all of you and for coming around. So today we'll be beginning immediately because we do not have much time to waste. Over the years, Africa Emerging Leaders Network has done a very huge and thrilled job upon the youth all over the world and also in Africa continent. Now, having been part of Africa Emerging Leaders Network, history has it that not only that we are making impact all over Africa, but we are growing every day. And before we continue, I want to appreciate the leadership of Africa Emerging Leaders Network, our president in the person of Precious Chukwemeka Wonsu, and our vice president, Ms. Covenant Kedinobi, and our chief growth officer, Mrs. Chamaka Okoro, and our secretary general, Mr. Tim Heavens. Thank you all of you for putting this beautiful opportunity together for African youth. And we also want to appreciate our ambassadors all over the world in South Africa, in Ghana, Malawi, Congo, but to mention but a very few. Thank you, Namibia. Good to have all of you. Good to have you here today. Second Chance Foundation now. Good to have you. Thank you. We're coming you all the way from Namibia. Thank you so much. So we'll be moving forward on the programs of today, and before we continue, we want to appreciate God for all He has been doing in our life, for making this program a success, for bringing us into this beautiful day. Please be ready, because God is about to do something in our lives. And today, Africa is about to emerge in another dimension that the world will watch to see that Africa is truly a big and a giant continent. Thank you so much for joining us. Now we'll be moving forward for the programs of today as we'll be welcoming our president to give us our official opening remark. Thank you very much for being here with us. Please, as we wait for Mr. President, please, can you all please put up in the comment section? Can I see your lights? Let me see the lights in the comment section. Let me know how beautiful you prepared for this event. Let me know how you prepared for this event, please. If you can hear me, I want you to put up those beautiful emojis. Tell us where you're joining us from, the country where you're joining us from, while we wait for our president. Please Get ready and get ready. Get ready and get ready. Okay, we have Coach Itena Mugate from Zimbabwe. Thank you. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for joining us. Good to have you. Good to have you tonight. We are ready. We are ready tonight. Thank you so much. Can I see more of the fire in the comment section so we can see Aziz? Aziz from Pakistan. Woo! Thank you so much. Thank you so much. It's good to have you here. How is Pakistan today? I hope you all are beautiful out there. Thank you for joining us. Can I see more of those fires? Please, if you are ready for tonight, no, I am ready. So I want you to put up those fire, put up those beautiful fires they have out there because we are ready for you tonight. So while we wait for Mr. President, I want you to feel free. Your expectations. Now, this is Sarah from Liberia. Who? How is Liberia today? Thank you for joining us. And we have Map. Oh, it's good to have you, Map Africa. It's good to have you. It's good to have you. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining us. Please, thank you for joining us. We'll be welcoming our president in a short while. And I want you to know, and I know you're ready to see this gigantic and also excellent face behind this brand, African Emerging Leaders Network. He's just a vessel God has embezzled and God has given this vision into his hands and he's living it true as a true African leader. So we are following the footsteps of our great people and I know you'll be here live today to witness what the world is about to see in Africa. Thank you for joining us again on this year annual conference, Africa Emerging Leaders Conference 2024. We've been doing this since 2022, and 2022 was a success. 2023, we grew up from different countries, and this year we have all touched and grown to 47 countries all over the world. This is a massive improvement, as you can see. Please join me as we welcome Mr. President. Precious Chukwemeka Nwosu into the stage to please give us an opening remark. Thank you so much, please.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, good to have you, Mr. President.
Wow, I am super, super, super excited to join you all here from Nigeria. I am Precious Chukwemeka Mosu, and I'm very humbled to be the pioneer of this vision, this movement that started as an idea in 2022. And today, that idea has grown to become this very beautiful community that you see today. And this is just the beginning. There is so much more that we are going to accomplish because what I believe is that there is nothing that can stop a determined mind. This year's African Emerging Leaders Conference is themed the vision of our founding fathers, unity in our diversity. What is our diversity and how can we draw strength from it? We can draw strength from our diversity through unifying our effort, unifying our knowledge, unifying our brotherhood, unifying everything that makes us Africans. Now, the difference between Africans and the rest of the world is our story. Our story is what makes us different. And whether you believe it or not, your story has a way of changing your destiny. Your story has a way of influencing your future. And if you want a better future, you need to tell a better story. And beside telling a better story, you need to become a better story. There are lots of founding fathers when we talk about African history, when we talk about African capitalism, when we talk about African economy, when we talk about what we want to see, African dream, there are lots of founding fathers. You talk about Nelson Mandela, you talk about Thomas Sankara, you talk about Gaddafi, you talk about Patrice Lumumba, a whole lot of them to mention a few. But now this is one that strikes me. Thomas Sankara. Thomas Sankara is a character that strikes me so much because he became president at the age of 33. He became president at the age of 33. And one of the major characteristics of His existence, because it was short lived, one of the major characteristics of his existence, his short lived impact, was the progressive reforms that he was able to come up with. He came up with progressive reforms to tackle corruption, to tackle the evil that is going on in the African society, to reignite the spirit of brotherhood. He was just 33 when he became president. Lots of us watching this video right now, or who are participating in this conference right now, either below 33 or above 33. But the whole idea is that we are still youths. That is the long and short of the whole thing. We are all youths, we are all young people. And if these people who have gone ahead of us, who have laid the foundations for us, can do it, then what are you doing as a youth? You don't need to be told. Nobody pays anybody to do these things. But we need to begin to tell ourselves the truth. Just recently, I held an event here in Nigeria, and I had some guests flying from outside the country, United States precisely. And the way these guests told our story to me, she said that over there in the United States, a lot of foreigners believe that Africa is one country that is ruled by a lot by one president. So all the 50 something countries in Africa are just one country ruled by one president. She told a lot of stories, and I began to see that, oh wow, our story is not rightly told, and that is why we don't have a good impression. That is why we are not where we ought to be. That is why we are not recognized as much as we ought to be recognized. So we need to start telling our story, and telling our story begins with becoming that story. You must become that story. You must become your story. A lot of people recognize Africans as fraudsters, recognize Africans with so many, in fact, they associate Africans with so many wrong ideologies, wrong concepts, wrong theories, because we have become the story. But the vision of the founding fathers is that we must emancipate ourselves. We must begin from the grassroots to retell these stories. We must change the way people see us by being what we want people to see. And that is the whole idea of the African Emerging Leaders Network. We want to build a bridge across Africa, brothers and sisters across the length and breadth of Africa. In fact, I can see today that there are even youths from Pakistan, India, different other countries that are outside Africa, USA, Netherlands. We want to build a bridge that connects young people. The whole idea is not just to make Africa a better place, but to make the world a better place by being good people, by doing the right things, by knowing the right things, by fighting unprogressive policies, tackling unprogressive policies, asking the right questions, challenging the status quo. The youths are the people who are going to do it. It is your responsibility as well as it is mine. No one is going to do it for you. Your leaders do not care about you. So you need to wake up. You need to start doing something. You need to start collaborating with your brothers across the globe. And that is why we have created this platform where everyone has a right, a privilege, an opportunity to experience leadership, to hone their leadership skills. And that is why, aside all that we have done, we have moved ahead to create communities inside the African Emerging Leader Body. So if you are from Malawi, there is a Malawian community. If you are from Ghana, there is a Ghanaian community, African Emerging Leaders community, where there is easy interaction with people from Ghana who are members of this community. You are able to meet like-minded people. Okay, I can see someone from Angola, you welcome. You are able to meet like-minded people. Everyone who has seen this flyer, who has decided to be a part of this program, is because they need a change. They want a change. They desire a change. There is something inside of them telling them that it is possible. And I tell you that it is possible. With or without me, the seed of African greatness is in each and every one of you. But we must not leave anyone behind. We must carry our brothers and sisters behind. Leadership is not all about being in power and cutting away money and doing all sort of things. Leadership is about carrying those people who cannot carry themselves, teaching those people who do not understand, showing people the way, showing your brothers the way, doing the right thing. And that is what we are all about. So, on this note, I declare the African Emerging Leaders Network open. You are welcome. Keep an open mind. We've brought speakers from the length and breadth of Africa who are inspirational people. And we believe that there is a thing or two that you can learn. Feel free to network, because everyone who is part of this network are quality people, young people who know where they are headed, who know what they want to achieve. So you can feel free to network, collaborate, share ideas, reach out to people, and let us keep a healthy environment. Do not spam our communities. Thank you once again for being a part of this, and enjoy the conference.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. That was a beautiful word from our President, Mr. Precious Motsu. And I can tell you for free that African has got the most excellent and promising youth in the land. So look at what our president is doing with a vision that God just entrusted into his hands. And now we are touching the life of the people all over the world and in African continent. So we want to say thank you so much. I want you to please do something on the comment section. Can you please appreciate Mr. President? Send in the messages. I want you to send your appreciation. Please send in the messages. I am watching and I'm waiting. Send in the fire. If you were touched by what he just said, please go ahead and send in the fire there, because he deserves a round of applause from every one of us. One thing is to have a vision, the other one is to run with the vision, and the next is to keep running with the vision and to make sure that the vision touched the lives of people that it was being given for. Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you, everyone. We are so much delighted to have you here. Remember, my president said that we have communities in Africa. We have different communities. We have Ghanaian community, we have Liberian community. So please, after this conference, it doesn't just end here. We have different communities in African Emerging Leaders Network where you can stay with your brothers, connect with different people in different continents and also in different globe. Please do well to join any of your communities once the programs is over. Thank you so much for joining us. Without further ado, I want to know, how do you feel? How do you feel already about the conference? How do you feel? I want to know how you feel. Do you feel excited? Please talk to me. Do you feel excited? Are you excited about being here? Are you prepared? Are you ready? As you can see, I have my writing materials here with me because I am ready to pack all the knowledges back to base and use it to my own advantage. Please don't joke with anything. Thank you, Abdul from Ghana. Good to have you. Thank you for joining us. Okay, without further ado, he has said it, and you know the vision of African Emerging Leaders Network is not to deviate from Africa or to deviate from any of your own vision. We are running with one vision, bringing people together from different continents, bringing people together from different world, and also in Africa to make sure that we run with the vision of our founding fathers. Thank you for joining us. We'll be moving to the next stage, which is, and I hope you're enjoying yourself. Don't just be here. Make sure you enjoy yourself. Make sure you connect. So we'll be moving to the next stage, which is introducing our first speaker, who will be speaking on a very excellent topic. He'll be sharing the diversity of our own knowledge, and he'll be here to tell us what more we can do to diversify our thinking and also broaden our knowledge in our career and also in our country. We'll be welcoming an exceptional person in the person of Giba Thema. Please, please, let's put a round of applause for whoever is welcome them on stage. She'll be here very
Hiba
soon.
Hussein. is an Egyptian youth activist with 13 years of experience in international cooperation and Africa affairs. She is working at the African Peer Review Mechanism License Office to the African Union. She is the Advocacy Director at the Youth Organization for Research and Justice Advocacy and the representative of North Africa in African Union Youth Task Force for Transitional Justice. Currently, she is a master's degree researcher of political communication. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome, Hiba Hassan.
Hello, welcome.
Hi, how are you?
I'm very much fine, Miss. Good to have you.
It's my pleasure to be here with you and to enjoy all this diverse audience from all our African countries. I'm really excited and I'm really feeling very, very, very challenged because of the amazing speech, welcome remarks by Mr. President. It's just challenging to just step in and talk after him. I really applaud him for whatever he said, and I echo everything he said. And I'm hoping that we will have an enjoyable night. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a pleasure seeing your beautiful smile and also your beautiful face facing the screen of Africa and also communicating to our youth. And I know that tonight you've got so much you would want to share with us. And we want to tell you that we love you from all over the world. We love you and we appreciate you coming to be with us here today. So, without further ado, we don't want to be wasting much of our audience time and also your own time. I am just so happy to have you. And I know the youth and Africa at large is so proud of you to being here with us. So tonight we would want you to share with us that beautiful knowledge you've got, to transform because it's just one goal we have here tonight. And I know you've come prepared. So it's sweet to have you. And that smile you have there, I know it's going to be forever. And with the impact you're going to make in our lives today, will never be forgotten. Thank you for joining us. And then I'll be leaving the stage for you to go ahead with your topic. Thank you very much, ma'am.
Thank you, my dear.
Thank you.
So, good evening again, and I'm very pleased to be here today and be invited by the African Emerging Leaders Network. And it's very challenging when we want to focus on how to follow our founder fathers of the African Union and our freedom leaders that have fought a lot for us to be here, to be standing here and talking here today. So allow me to share my presentation. And please let me confirm with me whether you can see my screen or not. I hope you can see it. Okay, so we are talking today in the African Emerging Leaders Conference for 2024 about unity. And this unity is not just a concept that comes alone. It has to be interacted with a lot of concepts, which I chose the leadership. So today we are going to talk about the nexus between leadership and unity in the African narrative. So I have to start with something very inspirational by our freedom fighter, Kwame Nkrumah.
There is no time to waste. We must unite or we perish.
We must unite or we perish. Yes, This is the spirit we have to be holding in our hearts and in our minds, and this is the motive that we have to look up to and work forward to achieve it. We have to unite, and without unity, we cannot go any forward. So when we are talking about the history of Africa, like Mr. President was talking about, that we have a story. Africa has a story, and each one of us has a story. And in this history, strong leadership has been instrumental in fostering unity among diverse African communities and African countries and African people as well. While this unity has often been attributed to ineffective or divisive leadership. So this history has three main pillars. The first one is the traditional African societies. We are going to talk about it more in the colonial era and the post-colonial era, which we are living in now. So to start with the traditional African societies, many traditional African society emphasized on the importance of communal living and shared decision making. You will find that in all of our tribes and our communities, especially in rural areas. Leaders were often seen as custodians of tradition and were expected to uphold the values of their people. They were the guardians of everything that the African community was standing for. Moving forward to the colonial era. Colonialism has a very, very deep rooted impact on African unity. And its impact, like it's we are witnessing it until now. We're suffering from it until now. The imposition of arbitrary borders, the suppression of indigenous cultures, the exploitation of natural resources in Africa, all of that contributed to the fragmentation of African societies and hindered the development of a sense of pan-African unity, the African Renaissance that we always seek for. So colonialism has a lot of impacts, negative impacts. When it comes to division and fragmentation, we are talking about the artificial borders. European powers carved up Africa into colonial territories without regard for existing ethnic or linguistic boundaries. This created a legacy of division and conflict and fragmentation that continues to shape the continent's political landscape today. You can see that the borders conflicts all around Africa is happening, and we are suffering. Our people are suffering. And instead of being united and instead of working together and figuring everything out together, we are fighting each other because of these artificial borders. Also, the suppression of indigenous cultures. They want to wipe out our identity, our culture, our heritage. Colonial powers also sought to suppress indigenous cultures and impose European values and institutions. This led to a loss of cultural identity and a sense of disconnection among different African communities. We are losing our heritage. We are losing our identity because we are wanted to be like westernized, and we want to be modernized, we want to be cool, and we are forgetting about our roots who shaped our societies now. Also, colonialism has resulted in economic exploitation, which we're suffering from it deeply. All of our African countries are suffering from it. Colonial powers exploited Africa's natural resources for their own economic benefit, for their own agendas, leaving the continent improvised and independent on foreign markets. So they took our natural resources, they manufacture it and sell it again with double price or triple price, and we have to afford to buy things that it's already from our lands. The second stage that we were talking about is the post-colonial era. Following independence, many African nations faced the task of rebuilding their societies and fostering unity, like they want to develop their countries and to meet the needs of their people. Effective leadership played a critical role in navigating these challenges and promoting national cohesion. And we are going to dig deeper into that. So, when we are talking about leadership and unity in the African narrative, to be able to um, take Africa to the place that it deserves, to take our people to the level of living that they deserve. We have certain components of concepts that we have to stick to. The first thing is the Pan Africanism. Pan Africanism is a movement which sought to unite Africa and its diaspora, emphasized the importance of collective action and solidarities. And this was very deepened into the souls of our founder fathers like Kwame Nkrumah, Jomo Kenyatta, and a lot more. They played pivotal roles in promoting Pan-African ideals. They were selfless. They just wanted their people to nourish. They wanted their countries to rise and shine. But now we cannot find that spirit so much. It's embedded in our blood, in our African blood. But when it comes to benefits and like personal interest, the narrative is changing. Ubuntu. Ubuntu is the African philosophy which emphasizes human interconnectedness and compassion. It has been seen as a powerful force for unity, and it's simulate that one is for all, and the well-being of the one is the well-being of all. So when we are going to come together and work together, we will be united and we will thrive together. Also, we have this embedded in our African culture, which is the collective decision making. Many African societies have traditionally valued collective decision making. Like I said earlier, when you go to the tribe, you will find that they are consulting each other, they are talking to each other, and there is a chain of command that everybody respects. So this can foster a sense of ownership and shared responsibilities, because when we are taking our own decisions, we will feel responsible of it and we will own it as well. So, what are the key factors that influencing the nexus between unity and leadership? The first factor is the cultural values. African cultures often emphasize communalism, collectiveness, and respect for elders. These values can foster a sense of unity and shared identity as well. Also, we have the historical experiences like Mr. President was talking about. Shared experiences of oppression, colonialism, and struggle for freedom can strengthen bonds between African communities. Also, the leadership style. Effective leaders who prioritize the interest of their people and promote inclusivity can play a vital role in fostering unity. On the other hand, if the leaders are very oppressive, they prioritize their own interests or favor particular groups, can undermine unity, which we are suffering from actually. Also, we have the economic development. Economic prosperity can contribute to social cohesion and unity. However, an equal distribution of wealth and resources can create tensions and divisions and, of course, conflicts that we are suffering from now. The last factor is the political stability. A stable political environment is essential for promoting unity and development. Political instability and conflict can undermine social cohesion and hinder progress. And this is what we see in most of our countries that are facing conflicts in a very intense way. People are suffering, people are killed, and there are a lot of things that it's now it's affecting all of us, and it's very sad to see our people are suffering like that. So when we are talking about suffering, we have to talk about challenges. If we want to really thrive, we have to address our challenges bravely and in a very transparent and open way. So, the most challenges that are facing the African unity now are the political instability, cultural differences, and economic disparities. If we are talking about the political instability, the coups and civil wars, these are frequent political upheavals, and it destabilized many African countries, hindering economic development and social progress. How can we can develop our countries while we are fighting each other? It will not work like that. Authoritarian role. The authoritarian role has limited democratic participation and stifled dissent, leading to social unrest and political instability because people are not heard. People cannot express themselves. People cannot stand up for themselves and speak up and say what they want and what is best for them. Border disputes, as we mentioned before, these disputes is a very essential source of tension between neighboring countries, which hindering the regional cooperation and regional integration, which is very essential if we are really want to have the African unity. When we are talking about the economic disparities, wealth inequality, the vast wealth gap between developed and developing countries in Africa has created social tensions and economic disparities. Of course, when people cannot gain their living and they are struggling to just survive in one day, it's something that makes them be violent, go to any terrorist group that they can pay them to earn the life and have money and have resources and so on and so forth. Dependency on foreign aid. Many African countries rely heavily on foreign aid. They have their own agendas. They don't have they don't want the development of Africa for Africa. They are doing their job to just withdraw all our resources. So we have to pay attention to that. They are limiting their economic independence and making them vulnerable to external shocks. And COVID 19 is not far from us. You see what happened to our African countries when COVID hit us. It was it was very disturbing and it was very shocking. Lack of infrastructure, of course, it's a very big challenge. Inadequate infrastructure such as transportation and energy networks has hindered economic development and trade, and especially when it comes to the roads, the infrastructure, everything like that. It's very challenging as well. When we are talking about the cultural differences, we have this linguistic diversity. We have a very wide ranged um, component of languages. Communication barrier will be hindering the cultural exchange. Also, the religious differences. Islam, Christianity, and even the Jewish. It's always having somehow trigger of tension. Ethnic tensions, of course, because these create conflicts which have a major challenge to African unity, particularly in countries with diverse population, and that they cannot have this cohesion and coexisting together. So, on the bright side, what is the future of African unity? What is the future is hiding for us? We have a very brighter horizon. Um, it can be on four pillars. The first one is youth engagement, of course, us. We are the drive of change. We are the agents of change. So we can take care of the African unity and the African future. Regional cooperation, good governance, and we have the potential of a united Africa. So when we talk about us youth, we have the largest population of youth in the world. So Africa's young population represents a significant demographic dividend, offering immense potential for economic growth and innovation. we can work hard, we can work passionately, and we can do a lot of things towards Africa. You see, Mr. President, how he was talking about Africa and the African people, and how he's telling us that everybody of us, every one of us, has his own share to thrive and has his own share to make our continent great and great. Youth leadership, empowering young people to participate in leadership and decision making processes, is essential for building a united and prosperous Africa. Of course, when we see fresh blood, fresh minds, fresh perspectives come to power, we have this smile on our face and we have this hope in our hearts. So prepare yourself to be the next leader. Don't wait. Prepare yourself, because you don't know when the time is coming. Entrepreneurship and innovation, through supporting youth, entrepreneurship and innovation can create jobs, drive economic growth, and foster a sense of ownership in the continent's future. And that will make us not dependent on the foreign aids and the foreign projects and so on and so forth. So it will be African solutions for African problems. The regional cooperation, of course, our regional economic communities and regional mechanisms are playing a vital role in enhancing our unity. We have a lot of success stories when it comes to ECOWAS, to IGAD, to a lot of regional economic communities. Economic integration, strengthen regional economic integration through trade agreements and infrastructure development, which can enhance economic growth and reduce dependency on foreign aid, like I said before. And we have the AFCFTA. We are hoping that it will foster the economic integration between African countries. Also, the security cooperation, collaborative efforts to address security challenges as terrorism, piracy, and climate change can strengthen regional stability and promote unity through exchanging experiences and best practices. Cultural exchange, through fostering cultural exchange and understanding among African nations, can bridge divides and promote a sense of shared unity. It's a very important power when we are a pillar when we are talking about the governance, good governance. We need it in our Africa. Democracy and human rights. Promoting democratic governance and respect for human rights can help to stabilize political environments and build trust among citizens and foster the feeling of loyalty from the people to their own countries and to their own homelands. Corruption combating, addressing corruption and promoting transparency can enhance economic development and improve public service, of course. Accountability, which is the most important pillar of the good governance. Ensuring accountability and upholding the rule of law are essential for building a just and equitable society. When everybody feels accountable, they will do their best to um, like rise their communities. The potential for a united Africa, the Africa we want. If we want our Africa to thrive and bloom, we have to enhance the concept of Pan-Africanism. We have to like um, inherit this spirit to inspire efforts to unite Africa and build a stronger continent. Shared challenges and opportunities. When we are facing challenges, which is a normal thing, we have to share the opportunities as well that can serve as a catalyst for greater unity and cooperation. Share best practices. The exchange of knowledge can foster the ability of us to overcome any obstacle or any challenge we are facing. Global influence. A united Africa can play a more significant role in global affairs, advocating for its interests and contributing to international peace and security. We are big. Don't let anybody tell you that you are not big. No, we are very big. continent. We are very big countries. We can influence, but if we want to. So now it's time to call for action. Let's follow our father's steps and put our efforts together and aim for Mama Africa to be the home we want, the Africa we want. So I thank you so much. I'll be open to any question or comment. Thank you. I'm sorry, dear. I think you are muted. I'm so sorry.
Thank you so much, please. Thank you. Thank you, please. Thank you so much, Mom. I want to say thank you very much. It was a beautiful moment with you. While you were talking, I was having a goosebumps all over my body. Because one thing is to believe on your identity, and the other one is to know your true identity, which is the African continent identity where we're coming from. So you said so many things. You said it's either we unite or they tear us apart. But it's time we unite together to bring back the Africa which our forefathers has fought for. Talking about entrepreneurship and innovation being an avenue to drive an economic growth, and we'll be centering more on that. We'll definitely need to work so much on that. So we wouldn't be wasting our audience time anyway. Please, if you have any question, can you please drop your question? Ma'am Heba is here to attend to all your questions. As you can see, she has an ample of knowledge and so much to share with us, please. If you have any question, can you please go ahead and drop your question so that she can attend to it before we can bring in the next speaker. Thank you so very much, ma'am. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. We wish we can have you to ourselves all the time. Like if you can just speak with us for the next 2 hours. But because of time, then we would have to bring in another speaker. Thank you for sharing the light in Africa. Thank you for empowering us tonight. As you can see, our audience are very, very much excited and empowered to be here today. We appreciate you. We appreciate you. And we hope to have more of you anytime, any day that we call for you. Please, thank you for being with us. If you have any further questions, please can you bring into the comments, drop it in the comments while she attends to it before we move to the next segment, please. Do we have any question there? Do we have question, please? If you have question, this is an opportunity for you to share it. It's an opportunity for you to ask, please. Do you have any question? Okay, since we do not have anyone raising hands for further question, please, ma'am, I want to ask one simple question, and maybe you call it a wrap from there. Concerning the entrepreneurship and innovation being a drive that could cause a growth in our economics in the African continent, I want to ask again, how do we navigate a situation where the African youth tried the much they could, to bring in the ideas, the innovation into our leadership authority, yet the efforts to which we put to these things are not being seen, or should I say it will be void. How do we navigate it? How do we keep on hoping that one day our innovation can cause or drive a change into our economic growth in our countries, in our respective countries, and in Africa continent at large? Thank you very much, Ms.
Thank you so much for this amazing question. It's a very good question. Actually, let me tell you something. We have this thing that when we have this idea that we want to implement, no matter how small or big it is, we always feel like, no, we have to ask somebody to help us. We're not searching for each other to help. Like if you have, for example, you have an idea and you want to make it real, you can come to me and talk to me and we will figure out together what we can do. So we can take it like gradually. We don't have to just, whenever we have an idea, I have to talk to the minister X or I have to talk to the president's Y. No, it's not working like that. We have to like make this idea mature and work on it properly and try to advocate about it. Like what we are doing here, we are talking about leadership, we are talking about unity. This can be a first step to create a community that we can share our ideas together and then take it to another step. So ideas, we are not out of ideas are a lot, but the willingness and the patience that we have to acquire in order for us to achieve our dreams or achieve our ideas and make it real, you have to take your time. You have to make it good enough to be presented to the other level or to the up level, so for me, I believe that to brainstorm together with like-minded people first is very essential for you to develop your idea and make it mature enough in order for you to search your ways in order to let people hear you and being like let's say being acceptable to this idea or to even hearing you at the first place. I hope that I answered your question.
Of course it did. Thank you so much. It's came with so much ease and refreshment into my spirit that no matter the ideas you have, don't please hold it to yourself. We can always have someone we run to, and there's no harm in sharing it. Even if maybe I heard what you said clearly, even if it was not attending to immediately, definitely one day, as long as the dream is not dead, it will come to life. Thank you so much. Then I want to know, do you believe that there is a bad decision from the African youth? Like maybe probably there was a decision someone made. Do you think there is any bad decisions someone can make pertaining their career being an African?
I'm sorry, I didn't get your question.
All right.
Can
Let
you
me let
repeat
me
it?
rephrase. Let me rephrase anyway. Okay, let's take for instance making a decision to becoming an entrepreneur in Africa, and at some point it's not working out, maybe some kind of legal forces or peradventure some countries regulations and all the rest of that affecting it not to become a success. Do you think at some point such individuals should feel that such decision is a bad one, or should the person still be hopeful that one day it can be fruitful?
Okay, let me tell you from a very personal experience. It depends on the timing that you decide for you to take some path or some career. If you are like fresh grad or even like undergrad, you have variety of options that you can discover yourself. But when you graduated, you will be having other responsibilities, and I'm talking from a very very realistic point of view. Like when you graduate, you have a lot of responsibilities to take care of. So if you are confident enough that you are equipped with the skills and the knowledge that allow you to be good in this particular field, you have to go for it no matter what the challenges are facing you. You have to be resilient, you have to keep moving. And I think one of the tricks that we can play in such path is that we don't make our goals very big. Like I don't want to be the top entrepreneur in my country. This is very big. At least be recognized by your community. Take it like step by step, gradually, and then test how the people react. Test what is going what the reaction that you are getting, what is the influence that you are doing. I, I'm very confident that you will find some room to development, and then you can take it to the next level. But you have to make sure that you are fully equipped, fully passionate about what you are doing, and you're not doing it for because this is an easy money, for example, or this is will make me famous. Yeah, we all want that. We all want money. We all want to be famous. But what is the passion, what the real passion and the real impact that you are going to do to your people? This is very important to think about and to develop ideas about. I hope I answered your question.
Yes, that was very, very mind blowing. Thank you so very much. It's wonderful, and your question, the answer you gave to the question was very clear, and it came with so much clarity. I would say this conference is for me because it's touching every part of my life and challenges. It's a beautiful thing having you, but before you go, please, we have one more last question for you. I think we have question in the comments here that says, what opportunities can you share that African youth can leverage as a step forward towards Pan-Africanism?
Okay, there are a lot of things. Let's say, for instance, the conference that we are attending now, it's a huge opportunity even for me to learn from you and to learn from the other speakers and to be able to recognize what is going on the other side. So be attentive to whatever opportunity that is published. And now we have a lot of virtual events. We have a lot of things that we can access and we can share online. Also, I can advise you to follow the African Union Youth Division. They are doing a lot of activities that you can apply for and you can participate in, or at least you can witness and see what they are doing and what are the recent trends that you can work on and you can skill yourself up on. So there are a lot of opportunities, like I said, and the networking here is very important. I believe that each and every one of us, for instance, he has to have like the LinkedIn account. You cannot be a leader and you want to thrive and you want to impact people and you don't have this professional account. You have to have LinkedIn account to make your network bigger and bigger, and try to focus on the areas that you want to have knowledge in and you want to skill yourself up in. So I think these are some tips that you can search on. I see that they need the link. You can just search with the African Union Youth Division on Facebook or on LinkedIn. You can find the page and you can follow it. You will be amazed by the efforts that they are doing and the level of engagement that they are seeking for.
All right, that's a beautiful one. Thank you very much. And I think most persons, or should I say, some persons are really not that kind of socially equipped. That I would say most persons prefer going to some social media apps like TikTok and the rest of that, and it may be spending the rest of the day watching videos and all that. But I love the fact that you brought up a professional account because to every social media app has its purpose. And I believe LinkedIn is one of the places where you can find professionals who will understand the pathway to the vision and the dream someone has personally as a leader. We appreciate every knowledge you're sharing here with us today. But sorry that we are bugging you with so many questions. And I think I got another last one. The question on the comment section said, how can AFTA benefit from African youth? I believe you can see the questions say, how can it benefit from African youth? Please, that might be the last one, please. And trust me, we love everything you're sharing with us here that we might not want to let go. Please, thank you for the time you've spent with us.
Thank you, my dear. And I think it's a very good, important question, because AFCFTA has a vital role in the economic growth of our continent. So when we are um, supporting and supporting the economic integration between African countries, it will provide more opportunities for African youth to work on. It will provide an expanded trade, like the intra-African trade, which will lead to a larger market for goods and services, which creating demand for skilled workers, which will be creating a room to capacity building of the young people to know new things and to capacitate themselves with new knowledge and skills. Of course, when we are talking about young people, we are talking about the investment in human capital, because if we are promoting the intra-African trade, we will encourage the investment in education and skill development as well to meet the demands of growing economy. We are a huge market. We have a lot of demand, so this will create a lot of opportunities. So it will also enhance the concept of entrepreneurship and innovation, because you will be having the chance to think outside of the box and bring another solutions and another ideas to promote the African integration, especially when we are talking about economic integration. So it will provide a lot of opportunities, and I think that through the AFCFTA even websites, you can search and surf about what opportunities that it can provide you more as a personal in your the private area or in your field of interest. Thank you.
That is a beautiful one. You know, I so much love. I while I was in my younger stage during classes, our teachers would always say something like, "If you don't have a questions, then you totally did not understand what I taught you in a class." So our audience asking questions simply means that your teaching tonight touched so many corners of our life. And trust me, we are learning so much from you tonight. We are learning so much. And we, like I said before, if you would leave it for me, we would want to have you for the rest of the night speaking to us, because you're opening our mind to so much possibilities, to so many things we thought that it's so impossible achieving as an African youth. But we appreciate you so much. We really appreciate you. On behalf of the African Emerging Leaders Network, on behalf of our president and vice president, and on behalf of Africa and the world at large, we want to say thank you. We thank you so much, Ma'am Heba Assem, for coming to be with us here today. And before you leave the stage, please, our audience are asking that we want to know your LinkedIn handle. We want to follow you. We want to follow you because it's so obvious that you're filled with so much knowledge that we've been looking for, and we don't want to search anymore. We have to stay here. And please, if you can share with us your LinkedIn handle, please, can you please share with us your LinkedIn handle so that we can follow you? From today, we are free to call you a mentor, right? We are free to call you a mentor.
Yeah,
Thank you so very much. Thank you so
I
very
will
much.
do
But
that
please,
right away.
all right. All right. It's a pleasure having you here once again, and we would want to appreciate you one more time for joining us. Before we bring our the second speaker for today, we wanted to know that our audience are grateful. Please, I wanted to put in the comment section, has this section impacted you? What do you have to say to our first speaker, Ma'am Heba? Please say a wonderful thing to her. Thank you very much, Ma'am Heba, for being here with us. We truly appreciate you. Thank you for being with us. Thank you. Please, on the comment section, we want to see you. Did you benefit? Did you benefit from this section? Please don't hide it. Say it to us so that we'll be certain that you are here with us. It was a beautiful one. It's a beautiful one. Please, let us bring in our second speaker for today. Our second speaker for today will be handling will be handling. Okay, our second speaker for today will be here with us shortly. While we welcome him, please go into the comment section and tell us how you are enjoying this evening. Has this place been a blessing to you? Has this place been a blessing to you? If it has been a blessing to you, please go ahead and speak to us. All right. While we move to the second speaker, I don't know if he's here already. We're supposed to have our second speaker, Jubilee Rulovo from South Africa. Oh, someone in the comment section say yes. It's of course it was very great speech tonight. We brought in the best hand for you because we know you will definitely want the best. Please let's have our second speaker on stage, please. Do we have our second speaker on stage, please? If you're on stage, I know that the first one was awesome, and this first one we are bringing to you is going to be the most beautiful one. Please, if our speaker is already there, can you please bring him on stage? Can you please come on stage while we get ready for him? Thank you very much, everyone, for being here with us. Are you
Obimthc Precious is an entrepreneur and an experienced global trade expert who is passionate about Africa's economic development. Obimthi is the founder and chairman of Seals Core International Lines, a multinational shipping and logistic company whose strategic vision is to become the global integrator in Africa, integrating African businesses with the world economy through trade and global value chains. As the chairman of a leading cargo and freight company, he has dedicated his career to mastering the complexity of a global trade. With over 9 years of experience in the industry, he has built a reputation as a visionary leader and expert strategist transforming logistics and supply chain management on a global scale. At Seals Core International Lines, he leads a dynamic team committed to delivering unparalleled service, ensuring timely and secure transportation across various trade routes. Obimthi firmly believes in Africa's potential as a powerhouse of economic growth and actively works towards fostering sustainable trade practices across the continent. He pioneers initiatives that bridge international markets with African economies, fostering mutually beneficial partnerships and driving socio-economic progress. He is a sought-after speaker at business forums and industry events, sharing a visionary perspective on the future of global trade and logistics. As one of Africa's leading entrepreneurs, Obimthi plays it forward by empowering audience with practical strategies and actionable insights to navigate the complexity of international trade and seize opportunities in a dynamic global marketplace. Ladies and gentlemen, let's make welcome Obimthi C. Precious.
hello?
Hello,
Good
guys.
evening.
Good
Good
evening.
evening. It's good to have you.
Sam here. Thank you so much. Thank you.
You're welcome to Africa Emerging Leaders Conference 2024. It's a pleasure to have you here. We've been waiting for you, and we are so excited to have you. And I know you're ready. Anyway, I love that beautiful. Of course, I love that handsome smile, and the appearance on the screen looks so handsome. So we believe that you coming to be with us today is going to bring a whole lot of knowledge to us. And as Africa Emerging Leaders Conference has set up its goal to make sure that we impact the youth of Africa all over the continent, and to make sure that we derive the change which we've been seeking for, which is coming together, setting up a good rules and a pathway to our African youths. Please, you're welcome on stage. My name is Lovely George, in case you're joining us now. And I want you to know that our audience are happy to have you. Please, you can have the stage to yourself and share with us the ample of knowledge you have for us. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you so much, Ma'am Loveling George. Thank you. You are absolutely wonderful host. Ladies and gentlemen, viewers from all over Africa and the rest of the world, I'm deeply honored to be here today at the African Emerging Leaders Conference. I want to extend my heartfelt appreciation to our esteemed host for this incredible platform, and to my fellow speaker that just concluded her session. She hasn't been a source of inspiration to the viewers, but to myself, even as a speaker, and the speakers that are going to be coming and speaking after me. I want to say that we are the voices shaping the next generation, and it's a privilege to share this platform with us all. Uh, Basically, I'm just going to be talking about the power of starting early, and it's important that we discuss this because we have this philosophy and this culture in Africa that antagonizes early starters, but appraises or gives applause to uh, late starters. Yeah, in Africa, we often hear that good things come to those who wait. But let me tell you this: great things come to those who start early. The theme of the conference is unity and diversity. Our founding, talking about our founding fathers. So, our founding fathers didn't just dream of a united Africa; they acted on it. From the moment the idea was conceived, they understood that unity in our diversity could not be achieved by waiting for the right time, but by creating the right time through action. So, for those that you are too young, you are probably your age when they started making their mark. So, why wait? Every day you wait is a day you let someone else take your place. I want to give you a little background story about myself because I like to be practical. I'm an entrepreneur, and I started quite early. By the way, I'm 25 this year. I just celebrated my birthday on 31st of July this year. And I own a multinational company, multinational shipping company. And I've been an entrepreneur for over a decade now. Yeah, I started quite early from the age of 15. And at the moment, we've got operations in Nigeria, we've got in China, we've got affiliate partnerships in the US. We've important for you to start early. First of all, I want you to begin to rejig your philosophy about waiting. I want you to rejig your philosophy about how early it is for you to get started. And one of my favorite quotes, people know me for this, I'm speaking directly to African entrepreneurs now. African entrepreneurs should urgently begin to jettison the idea of small businesses. I'm an entrepreneur, so I'm speaking from that viewpoint. African organization generally, we must begin to jettison the mindset of small businesses, small startups, and we must begin to urgently build businesses that have global relevance. Yeah? Now, it's okay for you to start small, but it's a cost for you to remain small. So the goal is that you start from here, but right from the foundation of where you're starting from, you should have a global mindset. So you could be starting from the beautiful city of Kumasi in Ghana. You could be starting from Kenya, a village in Kenya. You could be starting a tech company from Lesotho. But the idea is not that you're going to serve just that community. The world is globalized now. The world is a global village. So the goal is, if it's in the tech industry you're in, if it's in the clothing industry, if it's you're into fashion design, whatever product you're selling, the goal is that I am in this community in Kumasi, I am in Lagos, I am in Taraba, I am in Lesotho. I have this beautiful product of mine. But the goal is not that I sell products to, the people in my community. The goal is that whilst I'm making this product in the beautiful city of South Africa, in the beautiful nation of South Africa, my product should find its way in showrooms in New York City, should find its way in showrooms in Abu Dhabi in Ghana, because I'm not restricted by the borders. We've been given the map of Africa. I'm not restricted, and we all have the map of our nations. I'm not restricted within my nation. And when I speak on this subject, I like to speak from my heart, because it breaks my heart to see that we live in a culture where if you're a very young man and you're successful, you must be doing something wrong. And that's the philosophy we need to urgently begin to rejig. If you're a very young man and you're 18, you're 21, and you're living the life of your dreams, you must be doing something wrong. But that's not true. When I started early, I got all of this skepticism. When I go to the port in One, there is a port in One where we clear, shipments come in, we clear containers and all of that. I happen to be the youngest guy in the port. Yeah. And one of the things I usually get when I started was, you're too young, because in the shipping industry, I've got guys who are 30 years older than I am, 40 years older, 20 years older, 50 years older in the industry. And first of all, they look at me like, you're a very young man. I mean, what do you even know that you have to offer? We're in Africa. But when you get into other developed nations, you discover that those nations, the government has provided the infrastructure for them to scale, for them to succeed, for them to grow, for them to build, scalable ventures and scale it and grow it. But in Africa, it's quite unfortunate that some of those infrastructures are not put into place. But nonetheless, these things are not excuses to hold us back. They're not excuses to hold us back from reaching out to our goals, to our dreams, to our aspirations. But if you are going to get there, it's better you start on time. And so I want to talk about the journey of starting early. I made a few notes just to keep me in track. When I entered into the business world, I already shared that I was met with skepticism. You're too young, they said. But I knew that every moment I delayed was a moment lost. I need you to write that down. Every moment delayed is a moment lost. And so I started early. I faced challenges, but each one taught me something invaluable. And don't forget, I had relationships. I had to leverage relationships. And it's important that you do. You must realize the people who are called to help you grow, to help you build. And you must learn to sustain that relationship with humility of heart. You must learn to be a person of value. And so I remember all of the challenges I faced. I had people I shared my ideas with, and they practically trashed it. I built a team in the beginning, and that partnership never worked out. It was dissolved in less than 6 months, because these people practically didn't believe in the dream. They didn't believe in the goal, and for the fact that this guy is a very young man. So the first goal was, you need to go to school first, and I hear a lot of students who, when I ask them, why aren't you doing business? What are you doing to, sustain yourself in school and all of that? Of course, they've got parents at home who's taking care of them, but why can't you do business? And the next thing I hear is, I'm a student. Yeah, I started the journey long before I got into the university. But in 2018, I got admission into the University, Nnamdi Azikiwe University, very prestigious university, to study building. And in 2018, I shipped in my first product from the People's Republic of China, and after having my in-law sometime before I got admission, after serving my in-law, I went to go serve my brother for about 2 years. Now you need to understand that I was in a business school. That thing, what I just called service, these were people who were successful in their businesses. So I had to go serve them. And the lessons I learned in the period of years that I did cannot be compared with what you learn in Harvard Business School. Because there you learn practically how things work, not theory. You learn practically how things work, how to bookkeep, how to relate with client, customer management, customer relationship. You learn how to deal with negative feedback. You learn negotiation. You learn pricing. You learn so much within that time. So when I got into the university in 2018, by the way, I met my first 1 million before the age of 18. Yeah. Now the reason why I'm sharing this personal story is for you to understand that it's possible, and you don't need to get into the wrong thing. You don't need to get into anything illegal for you to be successful as a young person. Yeah. And 2018, I started the venture, did the first shipment and all of that. By 2021, I founded my first company, Seiko Global Line. 2022, I founded Seiko International. We just did our second year anniversary a couple months ago. Yeah. Between 2022, this is 2024, we've had branches all over Nigeria. We've got 3 in China, yeah, in Foshan, in Yiwu, in Guangzhou. We've got affiliate partners in the US. We've got in Dubai, Abu Dhabi. We've got in the beautiful nation of Turkey. And I'm doing all of this from Nigeria. I've never left the country. I've never left Nigeria before. In as much as I'm planning a trip to Rwanda, this year end, I want to be in the beautiful, nation of Rwanda and enjoy the weather, enjoy the climate, enjoy the air. I heard. I don't know if anyone's here from Rwanda. I heard the air there happens to be one of the cleanest air globally. So I've never been outside Nigeria. So every single thing that you have been achieving, people, asking questions, how were you able to do this in such a short time? You're a very young man, you're just 25 years old, you've got a multinational shipping company, you've got, operations running in different countries, in Europe, in Asia. I've never left Nigeria. So you need to understand that because you are in Ghana, you are in Rwanda, you are in South Africa, you are in Lesotho, you are in Uganda, does not hold you back. That you are in one. Now let me even make this clear. While I was doing all of those things, I was just in one room in school hostel. Yeah. So it was in my 3rd year that I started setting up all of those operations, all of those branches. I would leave school during holiday period. I would travel to Lagos, came to Lagos in 2022 to set up our operations here in Lagos. I was a 3rd year student in school. So all of your excuses are invalid. All of it. Now, the question you should always ask yourself, are you going to let your excuses hold you back? Or are you going to do it regardless of the difficulty? Now, I want to talk to you about the cost of inaction because inaction has a cost. And the cost is paid in missed opportunities and unfulfilled potential. Our founding fathers couldn't afford to wait, and neither can we afford to wait. They laid the foundation, but it's up to us to build upon it. Starting early is how we honor their legacy and make our mark on history. And so I just want to talk about practical steps because you must have heard me talk right now. You're pumped up, you want to get started. What are the practical steps? First, number one, you've got to define your vision. You need to have a clarity of where you're headed to. It's the clarity of where you're headed to that's going to tell you the kind of friends you're going to hang around, that's going to tell you the kind of relationship you need, that's going to tell you how to spend your time, when to wake up in the morning, when to go to sleep at night, what kind of material to consume. Because it's important that you build strategically, you build diligently, you build with direction. Speed is an advantage, but speed in the wrong direction is a curse. And that is why you need a vision written down, not just thought in your head. Write the vision down. I'm a Christian. Even the scripture says in Habakkuk, he said, write the vision down, make it plain, so that when you read it, you can run with the vision. Because the clearer the vision, the more determined your actions. Our founding fathers had the vision for United Africa. The question is, what's your vision? I have a vision. I have a vision. And the vision is to connect and simplify local trade, to connect and simplify international trade for African businesses. Our vision in the company, we're not just here to make profit and make a lot of money. That's going to happen eventually. That is already happening. But the whole idea of setting up a business was to empower African businesses to flourish on the global stage. So I have this young business entrepreneur who is doing, let's say he's into tailoring right now, for example, he's manufacturing a product in Aba, making a shoe or something. Now, instead of him just being limited to selling to customers in Aba, what do? We take his product, yeah, and we source for buyers in the international community, in Italy, in Dubai, in UK, in the US, and then we take the product and give it visibility, connect him with international buyers all over the world. And then instead of selling probably 30 pairs per week to his local community, he could be doing a container load. Yeah. And the other thing we do too, you want to start a business, you need raw materials. Yeah, we connect you to international suppliers all over the world. Germany, Japan, South Korea, China, Hong Kong, we connect you to suppliers all over the world. And make it easier for you to get into the global space. That is where decisions are made. And that is why you need to understand that if you're getting into a business, say, for example, the shoe business I just talked about, your competition is not your next door neighbor. I see we do that a lot. This crabs in the bucket mentality, where we fight each other, we antagonize each other. You don't want to see anybody grow. Crabs in the bucket mentality, we practice that a lot in Africa, and it's very horrendous. The goal is to collaborate. And that's the next thing I'm going to be talking about, building a strong network. 99% of your problems, 100%, are going to be solved through partnership. Building a strong network, collaboration, strategic collaboration with each other. So you're producing, you're into fashion, your competition is not your next door neighbor. Your competition in the fashion industry should be Adidas, Gucci, Versace. That's the competition. Not Maurice fashion. Not Ebuka fashion design. That's not the competition. That's your partner right there. That's your African brother right there. So the competition, get on the global stage. Who are the guys controlling this industry? How long is it going to take me to, get to the point where these guys know that I am in the industry? Now, when you think like that, when you have global relevance in view, you're going to see that the level of excellence with which you operate with is going to be out of this world. So number 2, like I said, build a strong network. Surround yourself with people who share your vision. Together we are stronger. Synergy. Yeah? And the other thing I want to talk about is embrace failure early. The sooner you start, the sooner you fail. And the quicker you learn. Write that down. I don't want you to miss that. The sooner you start, the sooner you fail, and the quicker you learn. And most often than not, failure is your best teacher. And number 4, which is very important, invest in yourself. I have this very beautiful quote from my brother and friend, Stephen Fee. He would always say, growth is going to cost you. Not growing will cost you more. Write that down. Growing will cost you. Not growing will cost you more. And so invest in yourself. The most successful people are those who never stop learning. Be relentless in your pursuit of growth. I remember in 2020, during the COVID-19 lockdown, schools were in lockdown. There was lockdown all over the world. Yeah. And what I did that period, why a lot of young people were, you know, uh, carried away with frivolities, I spent, that was in 2020. Yeah. I spent over 100,000 in books. That was in 2020 in books. Yeah. I got books, uh, quite a good number of books. And when I walk into a bookstore, I'm not confused of what book to buy. I know the area of my life I want to build, and I'm strategic about building that area. I don't want to be an expert in every field. I want to be an expert in one. And it's important that your growth is streamlined. It's good that you know one or two things about this industry, but you should excel. You should be an expert, at least in one industry, in one area of life. And so what I spent 2020 period doing was building, studying, taking courses. I can't remember the number of courses I've taken. I've lost count of the number of books. I locked myself up for months studying books. I had no company then. Studying books. And I studied books for months on end. I would lock myself. There are days I never saw the sun rise or set. Studying books, building myself, because it's what you have inside that you're going to release to your world. When you're empty, you have nothing to offer. And so you must pursue value, you must pursue knowledge. Yeah? And the fifth thing I want to talk about is act with urgency. Time waits for no one. Every second you hesitate is a second lost. So you've got to start acting right now. In conclusion, I want to say that our founding fathers laid the groundwork for the Africa we have today. But the responsibility to carry that vision forward is ours, entirely ours. The future belongs to those who start early and act decisively, and those who refuse to be held back by doubts or limitations. Remember, we always said that the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is now. So you got to learn to plant your tree today and let it grow into a legacy that will last for generations. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for having me. Thank you, Imagine uh, African leaders. It's a beautiful pleasure to be with every single one of us. I believe you've got value, so I'd like to hand over to the host. If you've got questions, I'm available to take your questions in the next couple of minutes and leave the stage for the next speaker. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Woo! That was a beautiful one. And I must say, I think somebody said from a comment section that the fire was on his bones, and I felt it.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
Thank you so much for having you today, Mr. Odife. Wow. We're talking about African giants here, the youths who are making so much impact in Africa. And tonight you've just spitted fire. So I don't know if you can hear me from there, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm with you. I'm with you.
Wow. We are so happy to have you here today. And everything you've taught us here today, I can tell from the sweetness, it's a pure fire. And we mean fire, we're talking about raw experience. We are talking about people who are competent with their own experience. Please, all right, I think we are having some interruptions. So please, can you mute your mic? All right, thank you so much, sir. I think it's better now. It was indeed very beautiful thing having you here today, and I must say that we really had a very great time here with you the short while you were speaking with us. And we'll start from saying thank you. And I hope you'll come back again the next Africa Imagine Leaders Conference 2025. So we have more of you. You spoke so much well with experience, and it's one of the things we need to acknowledge from you tonight. We appreciate it. And we would want to say that everything you've told us here tonight is a promise we are making that we'll be taking it to further step by taking it into action. It's one beautiful thing to have African youths who have done it well, coming to speak to the ones who are working to get there. You had your experiences and you're still paving way to that vision. You said something that got to me. Said seven, it's another way of training yourself. And I think somebody tweeted it in the comment section saying serving successful people is one of the best ways to attend schools because without serving, you don't have the raw experience. You know, in African continent, we will be meant to maybe probably they teach you the theoretical aspects of businesses and they tell you to go into the world and you're now a global business person. But I believe that serving is one of the things that can give you the raw and not just giving you the raw, but giving you the pattern to how you can get or navigate your dreams or your steps towards becoming a powerful entrepreneur in Africa and other countries. Thank you very much. We appreciate you. We appreciate you. I know our audience have so many questions to ask you. You know, I said it when we started, and I said this handsome face, I believe there must be a lot of fire coming behind this youth. And we appreciate you for coming once again. Thank you so much. Please, if you are on the comment section, I know you caught the fire because I've been watching and I believe, man, everything is going on as planned. We had you in the back of our mind before we started preparing for these programs. And like our president would always say from the onset of this vision, he said, in every year of the African Emerging Leaders Conference, we are not going to gather people just to motivate them. We are going to gather them to teach and to direct them on how to take actionable plans. And this is what we are doing tonight. Please, if you have a question for our guests, can you please drop it in the comment section? I know you have so much questions. Please don't tell me you don't have questions because my my notes is already filled up. And I hope you're writing as well, or you were writing when he was teaching. Please try and drop your question. Do we have any question? Do we have any question, please? Do we have any question? If you have questions, please, can you go ahead and drop it in the comment section before we can let go our speaker and bring in the next person. Okay, I think we have a question in the comment section. Mr. Frank Thank God said, sir, do you do, oh, if I get the question correct anyway, do your shipping line ship, okay, do your shipping line ship to Liberia? That was the question. He said, do your shipping line ship to Liberia? Please, you can attend to that, sir.
All right. At the moment, we don't ship to Liberia at the moment, but you could send me an email and we could make a connection to that. But at the moment, we don't. Thank you.
Say the question, please, sir, are you from this planet? I was about asking if it's from the Mars anyway. But then he said, you have shared so much wisdom. God bless you. God will truly bless you. Like I said, everything you've shared with us tonight was a practical way we can navigate our visions and our dream in the entrepreneurship industry in Africa and the world at large. You didn't just come to speak to us. You came to pour down your heart to us. And we appreciate you. On behalf of everyone here and our president, we want to say thank you so much. Thank you so much. Please, we have another question. If you have any other question, can you go ahead and drop your question? Do we have question? Do we have question? Okay. Since the audience are not sending any question, I think I need to ask few questions because I know I've written so many of them that I want to ask you. All right. Move to the first question. I think the first thing I wrote here is, was there a time in your life as an entrepreneur, because you stated you your business is based in Nigeria, firstly, before you started transitioning to other countries. So was there a time in your life when you had so many challenges that made you to question your decision for becoming an entrepreneur?
Should I go ahead now to answer, or should I wait when you're done with the rest of the question? Should we answer us? Yeah. Okay. My mentor, Mr. Vusi Tembekwayo, he would always say the most rewarding way to build wealth happens to equally be the hardest way to build wealth, and that's by becoming an entrepreneur. Yeah. So I said that to say that challenges and obstacles are part of the process. Yeah. The problem most of the times is that we see people like Masiwa, we see people like Tony Elumelu in Nigeria, Liko Dangote, we see all of these African billionaires doing, beautiful things. And what we look at, when you go to their Instagram page, what do you see? You see the lights, you see the yachts, you see the private jets, you see the so much wealth they have. But behind the scene, behind the scene, there is so much pain, so much tears, so much broken bones. And it's behind the scene that produces what you see on the scene. So even right now, as I'm speaking to you, I have a lot of challenges on my table. Yeah. You can imagine when you're in Nigeria and you're running operations in China, 3 different cities. You have a lot of staff across these regions. Yeah. Sometimes you need to, it's a lot. But I've got the best team, and that's a beautiful blessing from the Lord. I've got the best team. I've got a good mentor. I like to call them maps and mirrors. Yeah. I've got good relationships, and I've got God. I'm a Christian entrepreneur, and I'm proud of, my faith in Jesus. Yeah. So there've been multiple times where I wanted to give up. Yeah. There were multiple times where I questioned the vision, I questioned the pursuit, because you're going to get to the point where it's not about the money. You're going to get to the point where you run into debts. You're going to get to the point where my mentor at some time, Vusi Tembekwayo, the police were looking for him. He got into, he took a loan, he couldn't pay back. He had to, sleep in his car for a long time. Yeah. All of those things were the building process. So it happened to me, it happened to entrepreneurs all over the world. As long as what you're doing is legal, legit, you're not, putting your hand in, you're not selling your hand in any of this, you're going to face challenges. And that is why when you're starting out, I'm a Christian. My, the vision of the company has never been about me, it's about the people. So what I do is to put that vision before me every single time, every single moment. Yeah, every single time and every single moment. And then having a tribe of people who is going to keep you accountable, a tribe of people who's going to, there are times you need discipline internally, there are times you need motivation externally. But I believe more in discipline. Yeah. So I think that's going to be my answer for that, so that we can, take the next question and give more time for the next speaker. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. That was a beautiful one. Because, sometimes when we tell, especially the young entrepreneurs, that there is no shortcut to this things, definitely there must be ups and downs. But then, I believe no successful person shows us the behind the scenes. Because if they are showing us, we would have known better. All the same, thank you very much. We'll move to the next question. Someone is asking in the comment section, do you have a course on the service you render?
Okay, we run courses for entrepreneurs. We have a course currently going on global trade. Yeah, global trade masterclass. Yeah, it's about $669. But what I've done is to sponsor the course for African entrepreneurs. Yeah, currently we've trained over 1,000. We've trained over we just started the course last month. That was in July. Yeah, we've trained between last month and as we speak now, we've trained over 1,000 entrepreneurs on global trade. The cost is worth $669, but the company has sponsored it, so we've made it free because we need to salvage as many persons, especially young people. A lot of people, there's poverty everywhere in Africa, everywhere on the surface. But beneath Africa, there's an abundance of wealth untapped. And I'm a very young person, yes, but I've devoted most of my time to even mentoring younger people, younger entrepreneurs, people who are getting started, people who are at the growth stage of their businesses. I've devoted my time to mentor them free of charge. But then there are requirements for you to get into the mentorship. But for the Global Trade Masterclass, it's open. You could, I made a post about that on my Facebook handle. You could, check that out and you could, get into that. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you very much. I think our audience, you've heard it clearly. You can search for him on social media. Before he go, he's definitely going to be sharing with us his social media handles so that you can quickly follow him and keep on benefiting from this wealth of knowledge. So the last question we're going to be throwing to you because we do not have much time anymore is you talked about starting early. Okay, for now, the question is maybe basically for people who have not yet started, but they are feeling from one corner that their age is already against them, and I don't think there is any necessity for starting. Do you think they should lose hope for starting at all, or better still kick started from where they are for the meantime?
I think you already know the answer I'm going to give. Start. Yeah. I usually say this. Now that you know, probably you didn't know, that's why you didn't start early. But now that you know, start. And one of the things that keeps people back is they think they need to have all the information. You think you need to have all the knowledge. You think you need to, be polished. No, you don't. Start shabby. Start unpolished. Start crude. Start without all the information. Start without, just start. So if you weren't able to start early, you're 40, you're 30, you're 35, you're 45, you're 50, there's still opportunity. Go out there and make your research. There are a couple of successful billionaires and entrepreneurs who started at the age of 40. They quit their 9 to 5 lifestyle and started a business. 40, 45, they're successful. But if you're young and you're listening to me, it's an advantage and you need to leverage it. Thank you so much. I don't know if you're still there. Okay, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, Ma'am Loveline. Thank you. Thank you, everyone watching from anywhere you're watching. Thank you so much. And I want to say from the depth of my heart, I love every single one of us. I love you all. Thank you.
have got this powerful entrepreneur with us here tonight. I hope you learned so much, and I hope you learned so much. Please, at this point in time, we want to say have a good night rest, and I want to request for the last time, please, whenever we call you, please answer us. From this day, you'll continue to be our mentor and you'll continue to be the mentor to the Africa Emerging Leaders Network youth aspiring to become the great entrepreneurs in the world. We appreciate you and please do have a lovely evening. Thank you. All right, thank you everyone. That was a powerful one from our second speaker, Mr. Obichi Precious from Nigeria. I hope you are enjoying this section because for me, it's like this was orchestrated for me and for me alone. And without wasting much of your time, remember we're going to be sharing our speakers' social media handles to you, so you quickly go follow them. And at the same time, remember that we have different communities in African Emerging Leaders Network. So when the conference is over, we'll send you the link to join your own country community so that you keep connected and keep benefiting from this global and social network. Thank you all, everyone. On a quick one, we'll be welcoming a very important guest and a very important person to in our midst today, in the person of our president. This is someone who has put in this beautiful event for us all to be benefiting from. Please, while we put up a fire emoji in the comment section out there, an appreciation to our president on putting up this event together for us. Let us welcome Mr. Precious Moses, the president, the founding father of Africa Emerging Leaders Network. Please, Mr. President, you're welcome on stage, please.
Hi everyone, thank you so much. So I've been taking a lot of notes, and man, I want to say I want to thank the organizers of this event. A lot of people thought I was the one that organized it, but no, I wasn't, because I have a lot of amazing people who have worked with me behind the scene. People like the vice president, Covenant Ikedinobi, and the programs director, Lady George Loveling, and Team Heavens, Chiamaka Okoro, the chief growth officer. Where did you people bring these amazing speakers from? Like, I want to really say big thank you. And then to everyone who is present here, um, if you've paid attention, you would pick out one thing. I'm not in the business of motivation. I don't come to motivate anybody. We are here to take action. We want to bring speakers who can tell you things that you can readily apply and begin to see results. If it is a speaker that you can collaborate with, you can reach out to them. If they have courses, if they have programs, if they have anything that you can get involved to begin to turn your life around 360 degrees, then you must take advantage of that. And to the African Emerging Leaders Executives, national directors who are here or who are watching this video right now, what we are trying to do is to replicate progressiveness. We want to replicate progressiveness. So, everything that you have seen us do, you have to go back to your country community, get people involved, get people, give them the right orientation, create the right form of awareness, bring resource persons to talk to people uh, in areas that are impacting your country. Like in previous meetings we've had Namibia has a case of drug abuse, serious challenge of drug abuse. Liberia has a serious challenge of rape. So you can get people who can speak in these areas to people, sensitize your people. What we do at the national level, at this international level, where everyone is present, is what national directors must go back to their national communities and replicate. We want action. We want people that can take action. You've heard everything that our speakers have said. Mr. Obimdi said something that our founding fathers couldn't wait, and so we can't wait. You've heard from the woman from Egypt, Hibasem. You've heard all of these things. What you do, according to him, he said, what you do behind the scene is what will be displayed on your screen. So the work we put out will determine the story people tell about us. You don't like how Africa is being talked about? Then be a story that people can talk about. Be a story that people can talk about. Instead of fighting everyone that talks down on Africa, why not be that African that makes people proud, that African that people are proud of? So if you are a national director or national executive listening to me right now, go and start making plans to replicate what you have seen here today. The program continues tomorrow. Certifications will be given out to individuals who participate at least 2 days of this event. It's a 3 days event. If you can participate in the whole 3 days, that is wonderful. But if you can't, if you can do 2 days, that is fine. You will be certified. But one day, we will not give certifications for those who participate for just one day. So that being said, the link to the form, there is a new form that has been created to assess people who participated in this event, just like an attendance form. So the link might have been dropped in the comment section of this YouTube channel. So go click on it, and fill out the form. It's a simple form, and highlight the day you're filling out for. The link will be closed in the next 2 hours. So in the next 2 hours, the link will be closed. So on this note, I want to thank the organizers of this event once again. Thank you for organizing this, putting this together, bringing together all the wonderful speakers from all across Africa. God bless you, and your labor of love will always be remembered. There is how they say it, that posterity will never forget you. So I want to hand over back to the awesome moderator who is taking note of this, who is handling this event very powerfully. Thank you for having me. God bless you.
Thank you so much, Mr. President. It was a powerful one, seriously. Each time you talk about your passion for Africa, it makes me question my own existence as someone who is from Africa. And then I know we are following your footsteps and we are learning so much from you on how to become better and also represent Africans better. We appreciate you, sir. We will forever be grateful for the beautiful job you're doing in African continent and all over the world. Thank you once again. Thank you, the executives of African Emerging Leaders Network and also the country directors for the efforts you've put into this conference. I remember when the first day, like I said, when we started the African Emerging Leaders Vision, Mr. Precious, our president would always say something, say, each year for the Africa Emerging Leaders Conference, we're not just going to bring speakers who are going to motivate you. We'll bring people who will impact and show you the pathway to success to become a better person in Africa and globally. And this is the same year, and history is still repeating itself. Please, thank you. Thank you, sir. We appreciate you. God bless you all for joining us Remember that we'll be coming back here using the same link, same time, same channel tomorrow. And we are going to be having beautiful and amazing speakers who will be speaking on so much unique topics. Please don't miss it. If today was so awesome to you, and you know you learned so much, please go out there, make noise about it, tell the world about it, share it on your social media handles, and invite your friends and family to join us so that you will not be reaping alone from this beautiful experience in Africa Emerging Leaders Conference 2024. God bless you all for joining us. And I know that if you're coming tomorrow, you'll be coming with an amplified mindset and a beautiful heart to receive what this organization has in stock for you. I am sending my greetings to you all over the world in your countries. Stay safe out there and make sure you keep on making a part wherever you find yourself. It doesn't matter if you're already on screen yet, you can start from where you are, from your community, from your family, from your school, from your place of work. Show the world that you're coming from an organization or a continent that has shown you how to live a life of dignity. God bless you all. God bless everyone for joining us. See you tomorrow, same time, same channel, and same event, gathering from 47 countries. God bless you all. It's my pleasure serving you tonight. And my name remains Lovely Judge, and I am so glad to be your moderator for tonight. God bless you, and please have a beautiful experience out there.